go, man. What do you know about that? It's good old fashioned, good old stuff.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm still need to buy my tickets.
Yeah, same. Well, I gotta do a lot of shit though. I've been so fucking wrapped up in lots of different crap that yeah, things have not been that. But hey, we kind of got a new-ish setup for the. We slowly improve every couple weeks or months. We get some new equipment and add it to the podcast system. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Talked about it before we even started this, but man, today's is a light day. This is a very, very light day as far as not even a day, week for comics, and maybe not just comics, but just like media in general. Like, no movies, no TV shows coming out, no like big media shattering news of like a random series being confirmed. You know what I mean? There's been some news of like, I know Umbrella Academy got a season 2 confirmation, or they like started filming season 2.
I thought they were almost done wrapping up.
Maybe they wrapped up then, because I just saw some new news from them that's like we're either ready to go or
early release next year.
Yeah. There was also, what else? There were a couple things I want to say, but I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Yeah, like there's nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, Star Wars. You showed the trailer. Pretty cool. Trailer for Star Wars. Oh, Teen Titans just finished. Second season.
You're watching that?
Hell no. I just know because I keep up with the news and stuff, and everyone's like, "Oh, hey, it ended, and it was really good." And I was like, "You mean the 5 people who watched it thought it was really good?" And I was like, "But
our second season was a little bit better, but
my problem is you gotta get through the first season to get through the second season, right?" Like,
yeah, well, no,
just
that's
start in
fine.
season
No,
2.
they just fixed a couple of things.
That's
that
good.
people
I mean,
were kinda
I'm happy for them.
complaining
And it's actually part of even the titling for this episode. Is like, all right, well, let's talk about Disney Plus. We'll do a Disney Plus review, and then since Teen Titans, came up in that while I was doing that, I was like, well, we'll just compare it and see how it compares to DCU. And just give them like, obviously they're not the same.
Did the Harley Quinn show already come out, right?
I think Birds of Prey might have started.
No, that
Or no, it was the Batwoman.
the animated one.
Oh, I don't think so. No.
That was supposed to be movies.
Is it? Maybe. Let's check though. Let's see if it's actually out before I start discrediting them. Internet. There we go. Animated show. Because I'm not sure when it was supposed to come out, and once again, man, I'm gonna have to call. I still have to get in touch with my internet company.
Yeah, no, I just see it a couple of times. It'll freeze.
Yep.
Like right there. See,
Yep. Another freeze, I guarantee it. It just freezes every couple seconds, which is not good. And I paid for more than that. And I guess you can blame it a little bit on the weather, but yeah,
It's been like this already for
a couple weeks.
now.
Yeah, it's been pretty messed up. So I gotta contact them again for the millionth time, because we had some weeks where we were close to not even streaming because of internet issues.
Oh yeah.
Harley Quinn on DC Universe. Let's see. Bane brings the funny in the new Harley Quinn. Or maybe it's out. It might be out. It's out. It looks like it's out. Streaming. Yeah. Problem is, you don't know what's on there until you really get on there, and then it's.
I really don't want to pay for DC.
And it's $7.99, dude.
I don't want to pay that just to watch that. I really want to watch the show. I do, but
like. And we'll do the comparison a little later on, but there's a lot of differences.
It's probably the only thing
them.
I've wanted to watch on their platform since they've released it.
Don't they have Batman the Animated Series on there as well?
Yeah, but
I feel like you can find that somewhere else too. I think that's probably most of the time. Maybe not anymore though. Licensing issues and shit. There's really not too much, and we talked about we're gonna make today a short cast anyway, so that works out.
Yeah,
not having too much to do or talk about. Unless someone pops up in the chat and is like, "Hey, we got something to talk about." I didn't even get a catch up on my comics this week, which is I actually got to go back for the last couple weeks and catch up and start doing it. But it's because I've been catching up and getting ahead on
all of the means.
Yes, and I'm happy to I can officially announce this week that we are ahead for Patreon again.
So you turned it back on?
Yeah, so the Patreon should be back on. They're republishing back on the site stuff. Anybody who wanted to restart, supporting us can once again do that on Patreon. I was thinking consolidating, but it's just a little difficult to consolidate that with any of the other stuff because there's so much different work going. Also, we got the episodes of Comiconvos coming out on YouTube. I believe episode 90 came out this week, so 2 weeks back. And we're going to keep trying to upload old news ones of those. I'm obviously having trouble with that as well because of my shitty internet. If I have trying to upload hour-and-a-half videos becomes pretty problematic when you have 1,000, essentially, 2 megabytes second. Is that saying there? Something like that? Whatever. I digress. Actually, it would be like 12 or something. It's not good, people. It's not.
We'll get it back. It's normal.
We will.
It was fine there for a while there, but
it was doing good. I feel like we had everything kind of like set, and then we got a new camera. Maybe it's a new camera. It just has like too much going on. But that doesn't make sense for the. Because then it would be dropping.
Well, you know what I was thinking? You know when we updated it, it didn't change like any settings that you messed with, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Maybe not. Maybe I gotta go through and just... Because it seemed like most of it just transferred over. Maybe I gotta go reset all the settings and stuff.
Maybe reset some things. Because I know you have to sometimes go through there and
I do know that like
things down.
I do know I'm set to go higher than I'm getting by like a lot. But that's... was from before. They didn't have problems before. So now I might just have to check it and see. It's definitely not getting what we used to get though, so that's unfortunate. But we'll figure that out. Hopefully this Wednesday I'm gonna hopefully give them a call. So within a month maybe the problem will be solved. You know what I mean? Because I never can show punks. But no, it's been pretty light this week as far as everything really. Even in the comics there were some good releases, but nothing like there were like 10 good releases on both sides like there are sometimes.
So Carnage screen red.
Yeah, that was good.
Sweet. Oh yeah, there's a couple of things I read too, but I can't remember exactly the off the top of my head. I have to look at here. Oh yeah, I read a couple of those Conan books.
Oh, that's cool.
The Conan 2099 came out.
How was that?
Pretty good. So
that was something because we had talked about the new release of the 2099 line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly thinking it's not a great idea. I think it's just one of those things that
they're kind of just reshaping that universe a little bit more.
I mean, I enjoy that. I think they just put too much into it though. There's how many 2099 books did they release?
So far they just have Fantastic Four, and it's supposed to be Conan, but they're all one shots. And then,
all right, if they're just one shots and they're not getting continuous, I can feel it.
Pretty sure that they were all one shot. Yeah.
What I would prefer even more than a one shot would be a forward jump for a single issue. So it would be.
Punisher 2099 came out today as well.
I'm telling you, there's more than just 3 things
that came out. Oh,
yeah, there's a couple.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, okay, that
it's
one.
About vampires in Philadelphia. It's a detective kind of book as well.
There's a lot of those nice like little side ones.
That's pretty cool.
Try to keep it up. I haven't been, like I said, keep it up on anything this past month just because, like I said, I'm not even done today with editing all the content that's supposed to go out or uploading all the content that's supposed to go out. But we are caught up on the Comiconvos side, which is the most important part for now.
That's pretty much it so far.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess
again, there wasn't
there's not too much.
to read.
We can talk about the Dawn of X stuff. I mean, there's not much. It's really playing out slowly on that end too, though, in typical Jonathan Hickman style, that it's going to take another month or two before anything to happen on the X-Men line that's monumentally changing again. Granted, in the meantime, every little thing will lead up to that, but until then, we're kind of stuck waiting. How long have we done? Wow, we're already halfway through our cast, basically.
What time is that already? How long have we been going through
12 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
Give or take. But I count the trailer, it's not all that long. I guess we can start this and then we'll finish off with extra ideas. We'll just do the Disney Plus review and then go into the Disney or the DCU comparison. But you've been using Disney Plus for the last couple weeks. Because when did it come out?
November 20.
No, 12?
12 or something like that. Yeah.
I know because I got it like a week late, I think, or 2 weeks late. Because I've had it. No, I must have had it 2 weeks now, and it's just now the first. So it must have come out. I must have got it like a little bit after it came out. But after a couple weeks, how have you been feeling about it? Like just in general.
It's cool. I'm just wanting more original content. Is all now.
I definitely agree, and that's one thing I'm waiting on. Is like I love that it has all of this old stuff, and I want to eventually get back to it because those old ones. But the problem with those old ones is I don't remember them, and I need to like actually sit through them, and like you kind of gotta like sit through them because they're an older time period of storytelling. You know, them, so they're designed to take longer, to be longer back in a time period where you didn't have as much content to consume, and you had. Maybe not more time to consume it, but I mean, actually might, because nowadays people have more jobs than they used to even. So it's one of those things where it's just like content is increasing and the time to watch content not always increasing.
I was watching a lot of the 90s Spider-Man just because it was very nostalgic.
See, and
just to watch that.
I had Hulu, so I'd already
Storytelling's not too bad. It is very
the story,
more
it's just,
grown up.
Yeah, it's very, and that's what we had talked about it with someone else. I mean, we might have even talked about it last week, but that back then cartoons, no, it was with someone else, but back then there weren't, and it's funny because you say back then, but then you go even farther back, there's even less. But back then there wasn't like a million, YouTube channels and cartoon channels and things. You basically had like 4 cartoon channels.
Yeah.
Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney, and Channel 4, which played like
Channel 2.
Yeah, it kind of counts as like
Channel 2. I used to always watch that one. Oh, you're talking about Fox? Well, cause
that's what I mean. Is it's Channel 2 or 4?
Yeah,
because it's like Yu-Gi-Oh
Fox
and
or WB.
Yeah,
cartoons. Yeah, one of the two, because they both actually had some pretty good tunes on each
playlist.
But one of them sometimes would even take from the.
Well, that's what I said. Is like they would basically license from each other, and then they also ran on the same broadcasting network, so they would just send on the same channels depending on which one you ran. You could always just hop 2 channels away, and they would be the same kind of stuff.
Kind of miss those days.
But yeah, as compared to now, where there's 1,000,000,001 plus every year, and you got to remember it's a lot harder. It was a lot harder to make them back then compared to now, where it's all digitally animated and quickly done. You know what I mean? Not all of it, but a very good amount. And it's just like seeing that. Compared to now, they had to make shows to be appealing to adults too, because you also as a kid you didn't have your own TV screen most of the time.
Yeah.
Because nowadays they're cheap.
Yeah.
But like I remember being a kid, having a color television was like lit, like your own color television, but still. I don't know. And then by the time you were a teenager, everybody fucking had one.
Yeah.
But
no, but yeah, then you didn't really have a TV when you were younger. So yeah, kind of got a little bit into your middle school years.
Yeah, right about then, and then it's like the technology bubble burst or whatever, and it became cheap for everyone to get different kinds of technologies that before were maybe not super expensive, just not like easily accessible for anybody to really get. And it's the same thing we talked about with like accessibility of the internet and why they won't switch to all streaming, because not everybody has internet and streaming devices, etc. But I've been enjoying it pretty good. I guess out of 5, I mean, there's still some things like, and I gave them a bit of a pass, and I haven't seen it too much for a second, but I give them a pass on like their screen issues, where it'd be like some random shit on the screen or something. Like I don't know if you ever got that, but I definitely got it a couple times. And maybe it was my internet, but this was even before I'd really started. Maybe it was right around the same time I started having internet issues, so maybe that was it. But it would get these like Technicolor bars on there, and it would still play the rest of it. They would just be Technicolor bars like laid over it. And I actually have some video recordings of it because we did some watch throughs on the Patreon. Yeah, the Patreon. Where we're just doing reaction videos, and because it's Mandalorian and Disney won't let me put that shit on YouTube, which is so funny because they let me put the Marvel's Rocket and Groot reaction ones up, but they wouldn't let me do the Mandalorian.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we have reactions to Mandalorian on that side of the Patreon one, so that's fun. And I wish I could like send those over to the other Patreon because I can't upload them twice. Like, I'm already trying for the YouTube and Patreon stuff. You have to, because it used to be that you could like set up preview videos for like people now is you either have to like buy a Vimeo account or upload it on a third-party site and then host it. It's a pain in the ass. So, yeah, I might have to pay for a third-party hosting site eventually. But yeah, and it's like, but comparing that, I mean, neither of us really have DCU, I believe.
No, I had it for a little bit, but then I just canceled it.
Yeah.
I didn't actually really use it. Watched maybe a few episodes of Doom Patrol. I didn't even finish that. And watched, I think,
What did you think of the Doom Patrol, by the way?
It was cool. It just, I don't know, I guess there was just nothing there for me to, like, keep.
I think it's also rough because, one, you had to have an entire service to just watch that show.
Yeah.
Two, it didn't all come out at once.
Yeah, they were doing that weekly
episodes. So when you got to it, you're probably episode 2, 3.
Yeah, it was. I think I was actually 3 so far, 4, and then that was about it.
But yeah,
because
that makes sense.
They were pretty far already when I finally decided.
Because they only go to like 10, I think. But no, and I definitely feel that because I wouldn't have watched it if it was just on DCU. I mean, I watched it on DC, and it's like, don't sue me. All right, sue me, WB. Get at me. But it was pretty good. But once again, like you said, that I feel like the quality of stuff there, even with their original content, the quantity and quality of stuff for the price, isn't comparable. Also, obviously, because Marvel has the Disney Disney Plus has the whole Disney catalog to pull from, so you're not just doing Marvel stuff, and you're not just doing old cartoon stuff. You're doing a bunch of movies and a bunch of different, like, I saw stuff on there I'd never even seen before. You know what I mean? And then stuff on there I hadn't seen in many, many years.
And things that are like, why is this on here? Like, let's fuck it.
Yeah, there was a couple of them. Like, I was like, did this even belong to Disney? Does this even
Fuzz Bucket was one of those ones you're like, wow, why did they do this movie?
There's a couple shows where I was like, why did they even make this show? This was ridiculous. And why would they re-upload this show in the second place? But then again, you know, people like Batman vs. Superman, so, you know, to each their own. To each their own. We can't judge people based on their preference. I'm judging you. No, but it's been an interesting year so far, man. We're also coming up on I would say it's either I know, right? We should be on almost 3 years of Comiconvos. Granted, it hasn't been a super consistent 3 years, but we're still going. And it'll be 3 years, I think, in a couple weeks. So might do something special for that cast. Maybe I'll rent some equipment or ask Leo to come and do an anniversary cast or some shit. We'll set up 2 cameras or something. I'm not sure yet, but thinking of doing something for that for the holidays, as well as obviously we're getting all of the episodes up on YouTube so we can list the podcast on iTunes. But someone else had suggested that we just do audio versions to get an audio podcast up on iTunes ahead of time.
My brother.
Yes, this is quicker. It's a lot easier to upload audio. Our audio is like nothing compared to an hour video. But in the meantime, we're taking suggestions on new content. I'm hoping to do some, once I'm able to read my comics again and catch up with all the old and pre-content for Patreon. I want to do some videos of like really in-depth reviews of comics. The other thing I really wanted to do, and I'll have to like outsource to either local people or online people, is I wanted to do what they had done. I don't remember if you had seen them, but remember they had those like Marvel shorts where they were like pictures and people were voicing the comic kind of.
I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah, and basically that, but just with the actual comic as opposed to like a semi-animated.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
you know the ones. Yeah, and I didn't really like that. I would have preferred to just have like a comic book and have people reading the comic book like an old radio show with like sound effects and shit. So I would like to try that as well if I can. But some of those are a little time intensive and some are not. So we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, we still have a bunch of new comic posts coming out. Or not a bunch, but new comic posts coming out every day, and we've been trying to share them. And I feel like we've been getting back to our old healthy level of growth that we used to have. Because it used to be for a time on the channel for probably like a good half a year, we would just get like 10 or 20 likes a week. You know what I mean? And just consistently rise for a little bit, which is how we got to our place. And then we dropped consistency. We talked about how that's pretty much all content creation is about nowadays, is being consistent. So we're gonna hope to keep consistent, keep posting cool and fun posts in different groups and stuff on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and see if you guys like it. I think the one we just got done, we've done a couple. One before was the Superman one, got a ton of reactions.
Which one?
The Superman one.
Oh yeah.
Which I finally responded. I thought I had responded to that other person, but I guess it was another person that I didn't respond to, so I responded to them, and we got back to you. So your answers in the comments. And then we did one this week, the other day or yesterday, I think it was, with the Joker, that just got a ton of reactions and post stuff to like go for it. So it seems like there's we're getting more people to check it out, and that's always nice. So if you guys have any suggestions for content you like to see, like the Joker or Superman, which seem to be two pretty popular people, even more so than Batman, which I thought was funny. Like, then again, it's also a really good quote. The one we used, it was the Joker one where it's like, "Don't you must."
That one, yeah.
That comic is actually really good. That one is because we had talked about Batman 50 and the whole controversy it was like a year ago now, right?
With what?
The Batman 50 controversy, Catwoman.
No, you're talking about the wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been about a year now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And so we had actually covered that when it originally came out, and we talked about how I hadn't like caught up or done it. That's actually on the lead up to that issue. Is where that's from. So that's people like, you might not like that chapter, but the lead up to chapter 50 is amazingly like well written. Like, people are always bashing Tom King for this and that right now in the Batman series, especially like locally. I hear the comic store people just like, he's the worst thing to happen to Batman, and I'm like, dude, have you read any of the stories? They're really, like, a lot of them are really good. Like, that particular number 50, maybe not so much. Some of them weren't really good, but some of them were really good. And the whole I Am Bane arc, with the exception of the ending, flawless. You know what I mean? It's super good. I'm looking forward to more stuff coming from DC and Marvel in this next year. I'm hoping they, like, because right now I feel like we're in a lull period for the comics, even with, like, Absolute Carnage and everything coming out. I don't feel like it's like a high intensity like point of like good release stuff where like everything is like kind of good all around from both companies or one company even individually. Because I feel like they'll go through periods where they'll have like everything's firing well on the company cylinders, like almost a good portion of their books, maybe half of them are maybe not selling well but are doing well story wise, and then you'll have times where it's just like, who knows, like some books are not doing well, some are doing well, and just total crapshoot.
Which books are you reading doing so well?
There's a couple, man. Captain America's run, I think, is suffering heavily.
I haven't caught up with that one. I have to catch up.
What was the last thing you read?
Got put in prison.
That's pretty much where it starts going. Kind of down.
Keep reading that, man.
Yeah, you can keep reading. It's just kind of like
guy who was doing Black Panther for a little bit.
Yeah. And it's not.
I don't like that one, but
I really did like the Black Panther one, the one where he got all political with the resistance.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. That. Yep.
There are some that are doing well. Like I think Black Panther and Agents of Wakanda are really doing.
I like Agents of Wakanda.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
That's a good one.
But then that's like one of the ones where I can like consistently, that one's gonna be doing well. But then other ones, like. Just thinking of them off the top of my head, I can't, because they're not ones you remember, you know what I mean? But, like, there's just a couple different series where I feel like they're really, like, they're not even bad. They're just, like, meh.
Yeah.
And so they're very mediocre-ish. There's no, like, outstanding story or plot line that's, like, keeping you enthralled into the story. Justice League is a good example of that from DC. Like, it was doing so well on this, like, Perpetua new universe bullshit. But then it got, like, wrapped up in Year of the Villain stuff and the Doomsday Clock stuff, and I feel like it's just so lost in what DC is doing right now. They have no clue.
Oh, actually, that's what I read, too. I forgot. Venom.
Oh, yeah. See, Venom's doing decent, though. Granted, that's on the side from Absolute Carnage, so there's its own event going on that kind of bolsters that, but I thought Venom was doing pretty well. I'm not caught up. Did they finally reveal whatever the hell's going on with Dylan?
No, yeah, but
they're leaning towards it.
They're leaning more.
I just
number 20
just
kind of
scheduled.
explains a little bit more.
Yeah, that's cool.
because the maker has a hypothesis of what's going on.
No, he's always wrong. So fuck it. It's like I fucking hate the maker. He's a dick. No,
You have to
he's
see
usually
what
right,
they reveal too.
I'll check it. Like I said, I'm hoping later today because I got a couple more things to upload and publish, and then I gotta do some like.
And I guess he gets taken to the island. Next issue, Venom Island.
Venom, what happened to Spider?
Because that's the one where I guess it's the same island where Spider-Man and them had fought a while back in the 90s. I have the cover too. So
yeah, it's
where
that
he
Spider.
has where Venom's holding Spider-Man's skull with a little bit of piece on it. It's kind of like a Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that's the one that starts it off. So it's that one, and then but I guess he's coming back to this island.
That's interesting. That one was an interesting one because they're taking a pre-established Venom location. I think we're headed about our halfway point here. Is there anything else we got to cover specifically?
No, I'm just gonna see what they're gonna do with Noel.
I am interested in that. It's funny because you bring up both of those and we just made posts. They said just made, but they won't come out for like 2 or 3 weeks. But we just made posts for both Null and that issue of Dylan. So like the whole scene where Sleeper can't bond with Dylan, we just did a release on, and then we just did a release from Black, or Silver Surfer Black, where Silver Surfer's fighting Null, which is really cool, interesting. It's so funny to me because I couldn't place it at the time when I was reading it, but I can now. It's like he looks so much like the In-Betweener in that scene while he's fighting him. Just because his sword is like half black and half white, and he's half black and half white, so he looks just like the fucking In-Betweener. But I think we'll end it. Nice short one, today. Unfortunately, like I said, we're having internet issues lately, so we're trying to not stress it out too bad before everything just collapses. Yeah, I got 38 event logs, which are mostly probably just us cutting out.
Yep. Well, other than that, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
for today.
Good. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, if the internet's better, we'll do a longer cast, and hopefully there'll be some news of good stuff. Because there's really just not much.
Yeah, it's the end of the year, so.
Yeah, it usually does die down a bit around this time. After Thanksgiving, you'll get like a Christmas movie, which isn't really our forte in the channel. You know what I mean?
We have to probably wait till December before we hear anything else happening.
Yeah.
Oh no,
mid to
December.
late. Yeah, mid to late December.
It
I was
just
about to say,
became December today.
It's December today. Oh man, I don't know what day. We gotta go. We're in the wrong spot today. This podcast was supposed to happen a week ago. No, but thank you guys. Appreciate you. Keep checking us out here and on Patreon. We're gonna work on getting even more and more better equipment, stuff, and content out to you guys. So, yeah.
Have a good one, everyone.